Hello and welcome to PreCalc. Today is Thursday, September 24th, and we can write that at the top of our page. So these notes will be a little different since we're not just following along writing problems in our own notebook, and I don't really think it makes sense or that we learn anything from copying down tables. So, the best way that you can use these notes is write down specific commands that I talk about in Desmos, specific ways to access certain features in Desmos. You should write those down. Aside from that, the best way that you can use this video is to have another tab open and pause it frequently and follow along and do everything that it says as it's going along. So maybe you'll watch 30 seconds, pause, catch up on a separate screen on Desmos, watch another 30 seconds, pause, catch up on your own Desmos so that you're following along with the video. I need to be clear. Just watching the video is going to result in very little learning. Your two priorities are writing down key features, key commands, things you need to remember in Desmos, and following along. If you're not following along as you do the video, you're not really learning. Anyway, that's how we should be using these videos in Desmos. Great. Let's dive right in, guys. So, our first topic here is adjusting the window so that we can see what's really going on. I already have a table typed in here, table of values. You can call this a person's income over year. But I look here, I don't see anything. It might be easy to think like something went wrong, and I'm zooming out, I'm still not seeing anything. But if I look at these values, they're all in the tens of thousands. So if I zoom all the way out till I'm up at tens of thousands, here are my points. The points are here. But looking at them like this isn't really helpful. They look squished together. I'm not really sure what's going on. So we're going to adjust our window so that we can see the points in a more meaningful way. I'm going to go up here to graph settings, little wrench in the top right. So this is an example of a Desmos command that you should be writing down. You can write how to adjust window. Step 1, go to graph settings. Okay, step 2, we're going to look down here first at x-axis. How do we know what to make our values? We look at our table. I can see all these values are between 2000 and 2005. So I want to be kind of in that range, not too far out of it. If we look here, this number on the left is your lowest x value. The number on the right is your highest x value. So on the left, it's good to go a little bit below what it actually has. So I'm going to put 1999. And for the largest, it's good to go a little bit higher. I'm going to put 2006. Last thing is we have this step. Step means how much do you want it to increase by ones, by twos, by tens, by hundreds. We look at our x-axis. They're only a few points off from each other, so we're going to make our step 1. This will make it go 2000, 2001, 2002, and so on. Okay, let's look at our y-axis. I'm going to clear these. Okay, it's tempting when you're on the y's to just pick the first and the last and call that your min and max. But that's not how data usually comes out. It's mixed, it's natural. So if we look at this, I got 42,000, 64, 88, and then it starts going down, 72, 65, 60. So my lowest value that I see is 42,000. So let's put like 35,000. We want to go a little bit below what it has. You could put 36, 37. The specifics don't matter. And our largest value is 88. So let's try 95. Now these are really big numbers. If we have a step of 1, it's going to be real stretched out. So we should make our step 10,000 because there are at least 10,000 apart, some of these. All right. And then I just click on my graph and it automatically saves all of my input here. Now this is a lot more meaningful to look at. I can see there's a very clear trend here. Okay, so that is how to adjust your window. Now we are going to look at an actual problem. So I'm going to refresh this so my calculator resets. Wonderful. Here's our problem. Feel free to pause here if you need. It says the local theater puts on an annual play. The table below shows the number of auditions for the lead role each year since 2004. Use an equation to model the data and then approximate the number of auditions that might happen in 2013. First thing we do is we just need to put in all this information to Desmos. I'm going to look at year. I see it's going 04 to 2010 and it's going up by 1 each time. So to put a table in Desmos, this will be another thing you want to write down. You're going to hit this plus over here. Add item. What item do we want? Table. Great. So what year did I start at? I want to double check. That's 2004, and it goes up to 2010. So we just go and type these in real quick. And then when you're done, you should always go back and read it over really quick. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. I did not skip anything. It's really important to check for that. Okay, I'm going to go back to the problem here. Auditions go 21, 23, 26. Then we have 34, 38, 39. And I believe the last one was 41. Great, we double check. We got it all right. It's really, really important that we double check this. Okay, next, on this type of problem, we're trying to make a regression. We're trying to make a line of best fit. So I need to adjust my window first. That will almost always be your first step after the table. So I'm going to go to the little wrench. I'm going to clear my X values. My lowest year is 2004. Let's start at 2003. Highest is 2010. We'll put 2011. A step of 1 is good because all the years are close together. We're going to check out our values on the Y. The lowest is 21, so let's put like 18. You could put 19, you could put 17. There's no super right or wrong answer there. It's just a good idea to have it a little bit lower. And then our highest is 41, let's put 44. And our step, what if we go by 2s? They're kind of close together, so what if we go by 2s? Great, look at that. Now these points are meaningful. Now we can see a clear trend happening. So we've got our table, we've adjusted our window. Now we're going to make a regression. A regression is a line of best fit. It is a line that is made after you have a table of data. That's why it's called a regression. You work it backwards. You start with the table and then you make the line or the curve. Okay, so these are just commands that we'll have to know. You should write these down. The Desmos command for a linear regression is y1 squiggle. This squiggle is called tilde mx1 plus b. Hopefully that looks a lot like slope-intercept form. Great, so here's our linear regression. It won't ever touch all the points perfectly. That's just the nature of data. But it looks like it fits it pretty well. And I can click on this black line and find any point that I want. Okay, let's write the equation of our linear regression. So I'm going to start with y equals, let's see what our slope was. If we look over here, parameters, I see m 3.71. Okay. So our slope is 3.71x. And what was our y-intercept? Negative 7,422. Great. So sometimes we'll ask you for the equation of the linear regression. You follow all the same steps, and then you just read the m and b values down here for parameters. Awesome. And then it says the number of auditions held in 2013. So I'm going to go up till I see 2013. Right there, 54. So our answer to this would be in 2013, there will be 54 auditions held. Okay, one last thing, we're going to do a bonus question. I want to show you how to do a quadratic regression because sometimes a quadratic fits a set of data better than just a straight line. Our command is y1 tilde. Ax1 squared plus bx1. The x1 tells it to get the numbers from this table, plus just c. Great. So, and then if we wanted to write this equation, let's actually do that really quick, because sometimes it'll ask you to write the quadratic regression. So I'll do this one in blue. We have y equals, what's our a value? The parameter says negative 0.21 x squared. Our b value is 863.8 plus 863.8x. And our c value, we're just reading right off here from the parameters, is negative 870,575. So if they ask you for the equations of the regressions, that's how we go and write them down. If you need to decide which kind of regression is a better fit on Desmos, you can actually have them both on at the same time. So I'm going to type this one back in. And it makes them different colors. So you can see in this case, they're actually both pretty similar. So when they're both pretty similar, I think it's better to keep it simple and go with the linear. Anyway, that is regressions. Please don't hesitate to reach out with questions. That is all for today, guys. Thanks.